In the wake of the definitive polling from the New York Times, Siena, and from the Harvard-Harris poll that I've talked about in the last two lunch alerts that show Trump with a solid 6-point lead over Biden, and when the bias of the Electoral College for Republicans is taken into account, that becomes a 9-point lead. That is an overwhelming landslide. Today's lunch alert is sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group. Gold is security when there is uncertainty. And I don't think anybody can recall a time where there's more uncertainty and more at stake. That has triggered the Democrats to go into a state of unbelievable panic in their desperation to try to get out from the Biden noose and free themselves from the shackles that his candidacy is imposing upon them. But the Constitution and the laws and Biden's own senile stubbornness make it very unlikely that they're going to be able to do that unless Biden agrees. Now, there's always a fantasy that the Democrats have that Papa Barack Obama will sit down with Biden and say, Joe, it's time, and get him to withdraw. But we have to realize that Biden wants a pardon for his son, and that Biden is financially dependent on the bribes he's given to China, and he needs a return on that investment, and that he is a stubborn old man who's not willing to concede the field. And with that in mind, it's not very likely that he's going voluntarily to step aside. And if he doesn't step aside, to get rid of him, the Democrats have to get a majority of his cabinet to say he's incapable of being president. And they have to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate to say the same thing. And that's going to be very hard to do unless there's an overwhelming consensus and a clear choice of a replacement. But none of the replacements are polling very well. Michelle Obama is polling the best, but she's still 3 points behind Trump. And the other contenders, Newsom and the others, are even further behind. And I think it's very hard to see, in the absence of a replacement, how a real groundswell could come up to get rid of Biden. And yet the Democrats will need that to have a prayer of survival. Forget the presidency. We're talking now about their ability to keep a coherent Democratic delegation together in the House and the Senate. We're talking about such an overwhelming rout that basically there'll be one-party government. And it's hard to see how the Democrats survive that. Thanks for watching. Today's lunch alert is sponsored by the Patriot Gold Group. Gold is security when there is uncertainty. And I don't think anybody can recall a time where there's more uncertainty and more at stake. But international banks still say that gold remains a core asset ahead of the election. Geopolitical and economic uncertainty has pushed gold to record heights, and major banks agree that rate cuts could put gold over $3,000 an ounce. So call the Patriot Gold Group. The Patriot Gold Group offers no-fee-for-life IRAs to viewers of these videos. The IRA minimums are $25,000 and $100,000 for the no-fee-for-life IRA. So call the Patriot Gold Group and ask for the no-fee-for-life IRA.